which is better, B2B, B2C? Which one's going to make you more money, and which one is going to be better for your sales career, both in the short term or the long term? Let's talk about it. So the first question in your mind might be, what in the hell is B2B and B2C? B2B just simply means, or is in short, for business to business. B2C is simply just business to consumer. B2C, just imagine fitness coaching, relationship coaching, dating coaching, business opportunity, making more money online. These are typically what we would class as B2C offers, right? Consumer offers, right? You're not really operating as a business there. Pretty simple to understand. Now, typically the ticket size is going to be anywhere between $1,000 all the way up to $10,000, but typically you're going to see between the average range of between 3 and 10, depending on what you're selling. B2B is more going to be a high ticket size and be more to business owners. In the high ticket sales space, this is obviously a very blurry and murky water or line between what is B2C and B2B. In my opinion, B2B is classified as really high level, selling to C-level executives and all these high CEOs and big companies, right? In my opinion, if you're doing between $50,000 and $100,000 a month, or even a little bit more, you're not really a massive business, and I wouldn't really classify that as B2B. I'd really more kind of classify that as a B2C sale. What is the clear differences between the two? Well, in some cases with B2C, you can have long sales cycles, but for the vast majority, it means shorter sales cycles. This is why you'll see in the high ticket sales space or high ticket closing, the 1 call close or the 2 call close. In some cases, you might have a 3 call close, but it's very rare that I actually see that. The calls are representative of the amount of verbal touch points and the actual booked in calls the sales rep has had with the customer before they actually buy the product or the offer that you are selling. Especially relating back to what I said earlier about B2B in specific. B2B businesses, if they're doing 50 to 100 or 1,000 a month, they're not crazy high level businesses, especially in the high ticket sales space or the coaching space. I wouldn't really consider that as a long process or a long cycle that needs to happen. Let's say, for example, you're selling lead generation services to a company that does $50,000 a month. To me, that is still really more on the side of B2C. And when you look at more high-level executives and selling in that environment, that is when you're going to see these long, drawn-out sales cycles. Obviously, the payoff is really good. More high ticket size, more commission, and you're obviously heavily incentivized there. But understanding that the difference between B2C and B2B is typically a lot longer sales cycles. With B2C, you're going to have a lot shorter sales cycle and a lot less that you're going to have to talk to someone, but understand that even B2C can be categorized in long-term sales processes. I have a friend at the moment where he sells actually like a Bitcoin mining investment scheme, or I guess model, with the business that he's working with. And I believe it's around like $50,000 to $100,000 to get things set up. You can also see like YouTube automation channels that cost, over $100,000 to get up. And basically people are still classified as B2C, but sometimes that cycle can be a little bit longer. Really, it just depends on the person that you're selling, but it's just something to be aware of as the two different, types of buyers that you'll be dealing with. Now, the different skills that you can learn with both different types of sales processes is quite a few. If you look at, for example, if you're going to sell fitness, which is a non-ROI program, it's a B2C product. Typically, you're going to see a 1 or a 2 call close. I've had a student that I trained that went from a concreter to doing $23,000 a month just a couple months ago in just under a year selling fitness. And so fitness is a great thing to sell, especially when you're starting out, because in my belief, what you learn to do is you learn to do one of the most difficult sales possible, because in fitness, you're asking for someone's money, their time, to eat things that they don't want to eat, to sacrifice things that they do want to eat, go through physical pain, and they're not getting any money out of it. So it's a really difficult sale to make. And this is where you really, really, really learn good sales skills on how to sell to difficult prospects. Same thing with business opportunity as well. It's obviously not anywhere near as difficult as fitness, but you learn very good types of emotional type selling. And what I found is when you sell in B2C, and the skills you can learn in that environment, is you can learn a lot quicker selling these types of things, because you have more frequency, more volume and conversations you have. And this helps you develop sales IQ, right? It's basically something that you have, it's a general aura about you when you've had repetition of conversation over time. Something that I've developed after thousands of sales calls and thousands of hours of studying sales. And when you have it, you have it. When you get really, really good at it, it's almost like seeing through the matrix, right? It's the best way I can describe it. When you get to a certain level of sales, which these offers can help you do because of the frequency you can start to become at a point where sales starts to become a lot more easier for you. It becomes a lot more unconscious, and you don't really even have to think as you're even selling the thing you're selling. Whereas looking at B2B in comparison, what you're really learning to do in that area is learning to be patient. You're learning to really connect from one person to the other, because typically the person that you're going to be talking to may very well not be the decision maker that's going to be able to make the decision in regards to what you're selling. Typically in B2B, you've got, high level B2B, right? You've got multiple people that you need to speak to within the company, depending on the offer or the product that you are selling. And so you have to become good at longer term selling. You have to become really good at follow up. You have to be really good at nurturing your prospects, and you have to become what I would call a much more well-rounded salesperson, because in B2C, you can very much make 10 to 20 to 25K a month on the right offer and opportunity working full-time just by taking the calls you have in the calendar, right? And having a little bit of follow-up. But as a B2B sales rep, you really need to be a well-rounded salesperson, because without that, you're going to lose a lot of deals and leave a lot of money on the table. Because again, it's not as fast as B2C. It's a lot more of a longer term duration sales cycle, and it requires a lot more patience. And like I mentioned, really learning the skills of being able to connect to the right people, and really just selling in a longer term fashion, which is something that you don't really learn in the B2C environment. Now, what are the prospects like in comparison? B2C buyers, especially for like business opportunity, are a lot more naive. They're a lot, they haven't really been on too many sales calls in their entire life, so they don't really know that it's a sales process that is going on. And it's a lot more of an emotional sale, right? In B2C, what I've found is these conversations are a lot more emotionally charged. You learn how to do things on a much more micro scale. Like I said before, it's a 1 or a 2 call close, as opposed to B2B, it could be a 10 call close, right? You really never know. For example, if you look at B2B in direct comparison, a lot of the prospects, a lot of the people that you're going to be talking to are going to be a lot more sophisticated, right? You're going to deal with a lot more what we call as A-type personalities. A lot of people that are going to kind of try and steamroll, is what I like to call steamroll you. They're going to try and push you over. They're going to try and do this. They want that, because these people are a lot more used to sales processes. And again, it's not as easy as I would call B2C is. Obviously, B2B is more rewarding in the longer term and can do very well for you, especially when you sell high ticket packages. Like I have a friend, who is in SaaS sales, who makes $1 million per year in commissions, and he's very young as well. Understand that is also B2B. So he deals with those big long-term cycles, but the commission size is significantly larger, and the deal size is significantly larger, but it requires, again, a lot of in-person appointments, this, that, the other thing, right? So it's just something to take into consideration when you're looking at both different types of buyers. Now, after going through all of that, what industry is best for you based off my personal experience? Well, it's going to depend on your situation. It's going to depend on what you want. It's going to depend on your goals. But for the vast majority, I recommend fitness and business opportunity as one of the best opportunities that you can start out when you're first beginning, because it taught me so many skills about how I sell now. I've never really had to sell crazy B2B. I've sold packages from 5K to 10K to 15K to 30K, right? And even upwards of like $60,000, I think, at some point, which the differences between, just so you understand, the $60,000 deal sizes were for a marketing agency where I would sell a full year's upfront of lead generation and funnel marketing services for coaches and consultants, right? All the way to 30K, which was business coaching for tradesmen, all the way down to 5K, which is how to help people start their own marketing agency here in Australia. So there's a wide variety that I've experienced and I've seen, but BizOp and fitness, in my opinion, really are going to give you the frequency that you need to really pick up this skill a lot faster than others. When you are in B2B, yes, the payoff is great, but you have less frequency of conversation, right? You have less frequency of dialogue, and the less frequency of dialogue you have, more time it will take to develop this skill, right? Very simple math, right? If you have a 100 calls in a month as a high ticket closer, and let's say that for simplicity's sake, all of them show up, you're having 100 conversations each month. Whereas if you take a look at a B2B sales rep that might have 4 sales calls a month, right? Maybe that's not the case, but I'm just basically, from what I'm seeing from experience, that is going to enable you or put you at a disadvantage to develop a lot faster than you would if you're doing it on a high repetition account. So that concludes today's video. If you're looking to fast track the path of transformation going from 0 to 10K a month into high ticket sales, and you're looking to pursue this seriously as a career ASAP, there's a link down below. You'll find there's a Calendly form. Fill in your details and you'll be able to speak to me and my team to see if you're fit for my RSA Mastermind. It's where we help, everybody and anybody from all walks of life to facilitate the transformation much faster than I did myself, right? 4 or 5 years it took me. My main aim and goal for you would be 6 months to a year. So if you're looking to put in some hard work and you're looking to put in some effort, and it's something that you're very serious about, pop in your details below. You may be a fit, you might not be, but if you are, you'll definitely be speaking to me or my team very, very soon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.